Helen Keller. She is pretty well known. She became deaf and blind at the age of 19 months as a baby. Uh, she deaf and blind, so she couldn't see, couldn't hear throughout her life um, due to an illness. And at that time, they didn't know what the illness was. Um, Helen was taught to express herself by Anne Sullivan, uh, who was her teacher and remained her lifelong companion. Uh, Helen Keller went on to become the first graduate with deaf blindness in the world. Uh, she an autobiography about her life, um, and it's considered a classic book in English literature. Uh, she traveled around the world. She campaigned for uh, anti-militarism, women's suffrage, labor rights, socialism, and other causes. So she didn't just do motivational speaking or go around talking about being blind or deaf. She actually uh, was passionate about a lot of different causes, and she went around and spoke about those things. Um, but her again, her ability to overcome uh, those shortcomings of not being able to hear or see and be successful. Um, she's one that I just can't even imagine having no sight and no hearing and being able to function at all, let alone have the success that she did. Um, ALS. I put this slide in here before I talk about a couple of uh, people that are well known with that had ALS, because I want to make sure that we understand what it is. ALS stands for well, I can't pronounce it, but it's you can see it there on the slide. It's a neurodegenerative disease. It's always fatal. Um, and it's where a person's brain loses connection with the muscles. People with ALS, they lose their ability to walk, talk, eat, and eventually breathe. So it is, um, if that's not grim, I don't know what is. Um, and ALS usually strikes people between the ages of 40 and 70, but it can strike anyone at any time. So um, there's just nothing positive I can spin, except we have a couple of people that were well known with this and were very successful. Lou Gehrig. So the reason that I put the ALS slide in about that particular disease is because that particular disease, ALS, is commonly referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease. From June 1 to 1925, June 1, 1925 to May 2nd of 1939, Lou Gehrig played for the New York Yankees for 17 years and received the moniker the Iron Horse due to his ability to play baseball despite suffering from a variety of injuries. He appeared in 2,130 consecutive games, which was a record that stood until 1995. It's hard to imagine going to work for 2,130 consecutive days, essentially, um, without missing a beat. Um, on July 4th, 1939, they had Lou Gehrig Appreciation Day held in his honor. And it was at that event where Gehrig made the memorable speech featured in the film version of his life.
First baseman Lou Gehrig hung up an amazing mark by playing in 2,130 consecutive games. Then a fatal disease attacked baseball's Iron Man. In Yankee Stadium, touched to tears by the tribute, Gehrig made his last public appearance.
For the past 2 weeks, you've been reading about a bad brag. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. When you look around, wouldn't you consider it privilege to associate yourself with such a fine-looking man as is standing in uniform in this ballpark today? That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.